Today is February 8th, 2026, and there are a lot of topics that I want to talk about today. Typically, when I choose a topic for the video, it's something that I've been kind of thinking about all day, or it's just something that I'm really, really thinking about right now. And I'm thinking about a lot of things, right? I'm especially thinking about expectations because I think in the world, we have too many expectations for young people and not enough, like all at the same time, right? Um, I really, really wanted to be a preschool teacher for a while. And something that I learned while I took a couple college classes about how to be a preschool teacher and everything is that when kids are 2 and 3, we are supposed to be teaching them numbers and letters, which I think is not something that should be happening, right? I was 4 when I learned letters and numbers. Well, not numbers. I knew numbers. But I was 4. I wasn't 2 and people were trying to shove numbers and letters down my throat, right? And I feel like we're putting too many expectations on younger kids while also expecting them to be dumb, right? And by dumb, I mean you're not expecting a 16-year-old to know what sex is, but you're also expecting a 16-year-old to be incredibly mature, right? Like, oh, that senior in high school should know all of these things about calculus and all of that stuff that, like, you don't necessarily need a whole lot of calculus for your life, but we also then expect them to not know other stuff that, like, is actually important, right? I feel like one of the best ways to describe this is the Keeper of the Lost City series. Yes, I read the Keeper of the Lost City series. Most of the books that I read are going to be kids or YA fiction because that doesn't have the gross stuff in it most of the time. But in the Keeper of the Lost City series, right, book 1, Sophie is 12. The main character is 12, right? And she's the person who's supposed to save the world. And throughout this entire book series, because it's a long book series, alright, there are 10, 11 books, I think. I think it's 11 books now, technically, right? And throughout this entire book series, right, she's like 16 now, or somewhere around that age. They are constantly not giving her information while expecting her to know everything. And it kind of irritates me because I remember that. I remember being in high school and people expect you to know what to do with your life from the moment you turn like 12, right? That literally happened to me. I had to have multiple conversations about I don't know about college right now because I am 12. I have had multiple of those conversations because I think people are putting too much pressure on kids to be adults while simultaneously not treating them like adults, right? You should have all of the knowledge of an adult, but none of the wisdom of an adult, but you're also 12, you know? And that kind of pisses me off a little bit because as a person who's very, very bad at doing stuff, why are we having such high expectations for people? Right? Do you remember being 16 and being smart? No. I'm 19 and I'm not smart, right? Could I be smart? Yeah, but people have high expectations for me because I'm 19, but they also have really low expectations for me because I'm 19, you know? And that doesn't make sense to me because you can't expect a 2-year-old to know the alphabet, but also expect a 2-year-old to not know how to talk. They are 2. They don't need the alphabet yet. They don't need to know how to count to 25. You know what that kid needs? He needs a nap, is what he needs. Get him some good sleep and help him figure out how to use scissors. Alright? But we have such high expectations and they're going higher, but we're also expecting our kids to know nothing. right? We're expecting people to not know anything, but they also need to know everything. And it's just so confusing to me because, like, what do you mean I need to know how to do all of these things that no one's ever taught me, but you still think I don't know how sex works? Right? Like, I don't get it. Right? I'm going to use 16-year-olds as an example because they're not adults, right? But you can't expect them to not know things, right? You can't keep every kid protected forever, but at the same time, you can't think that they know something that they don't know, right? You can't have high expectations of someone you also have low expectations of. So, I I don't know. I've been thinking about it like all day of like why does it feel like adults have really high expectations for kids to be mature, but not high enough expectations for them to know things? And it just confuses me. I'm sure I'll sleep on it and it'll make perfect sense, or this will just be the thing that I think about every single night for the rest of my life. I don't know which one it'll be, but it'll be one of them. And I guess that's that. So, this is it's just been a topic that's annoying me, so I get to annoy you with it. That's the whole purpose of these videos. It's been 6.5 minutes. I'm gonna go get ready for bed. So I will see you guys later.